lecture 4 class. We are here to do some important stuff here. I would like everybody to pay attention here. I'm going to share a file with you. As you can see here, the file right is in front of you. This is about direct manipulation and immersive environment. And it's a good topic. Yeah, I hope everybody will enjoy. Let's get straight away get into it. Okay, now we've got few important learning outcomes here. Introduction. We will be also talking about direct manipulation. We'll be looking at some examples of direct manipulation, 2D and 3D interfaces, teleoperation and presence, augmented and virtual reality, which are new and emerging topics, but very interesting stuff here is coming up. So anyway, let's get into it as well. So we have got straight away, we've got some important information here in terms of introduction that the one of the important things we all need as a users is to have positive feelings. This is the very important topic that which is associated with good user interfaces. So that's why designers try to do their best to get the mastery into their design, how they design their interface. So that's something very important here. They want to make sure there's a competence in performing tasks. They want to enjoy in using the system. So this is what users want. So, and coming from the designer perspective, it is equally important to present a design that will satisfy the requirements and needs of majority of the users. As we have already understood and we have learned that it is impossible to make everyone happy, but efforts can be made to make the majority of people happy in terms of yeah, user interface, in terms of design interface. So that's something very important as well. So we keep moving here. Okay, now some of the things we're going to look at here is about continuous representation of the objects and actions of interest with meaningful visual metaphor. This is what happens when you are on a website, how you are directly manipulating with that, and that is important as well. So there are physical actions which are required. Like says we are talking about here label buttons, we are talking about here we don't want complex syntax. We want to make things as simple as they possibly can be. This is what we like. Simplicity is one of the key requirements of any design. People don't want to get involved in something which is a complex thing. It's something very important. So rapid incremental reversible actions whose effects on the objects of interest are visible immediately. So these are very, very important things as well. It's all things happening immediately, and they are all, visible clearly. These are very important things we're talking about here. Okay, like say for example, can you think of any other example here? Like this is you can see here somebody is playing a computer game, wearing a goggles, which I mean imagine that, like these kind of things. Like here you require response, you require speed, you require, we're talking about action here, so it's also important here. Anyway, we keep moving to our slides further. We have got novices can learn. Novices means basically inexperienced users. They can learn basic functionality quickly, usually through a demonstration by more experienced users. This is exactly what happens when more experienced users uh, teach less experienced users something how it has to be done. This way, it's a common and old method of learning anyway. So experts can work rapidly to carry out a wide range of tasks, even defining new functions and features. Same time, this can happen as well. Users will simply change the direction of their activity. They will experience less anxiety. They will gain a sense of confidence and involvement. This is very important. So when the novice users are learning, it is important that they are given right directions, right instructions, and that way they enjoy learning and they make good change. And they basically, that gives them confidence, gives them trust into the system, and ultimately gives them uh, like enjoyment. That's what we're talking about here. So it's important, in that sense as well. Okay, now the other thing we are also trying to understand and categorize is that direct manipulation through different metaphors is by looking at translational distances between users and the representation of the metaphor, which will be referred to as strength. Multi-touch allows new actions to be assigned to various combinations of finger touches. I mean, like now you can see the new gadgets, new devices are making a big difference into our lives. And now we like two finger actions like zoom in and out is now it has become intuitive. Like people are using these features. So with the time passing, more and more advanced features are emerging, and developers of these devices are focusing on one simple fact, that how can we make lives of or the experience of users an immersive experience, like an experience which is of full of enjoyment, full of being immersive to whatever you are doing. So it's really important as well if you look at from the different attributes of direct manipulation. Okay, let's keep moving here. Okay, now I'm trying to get you into this one here. As you can see here, we've got a few more things. Oh, just another question here. Under which circumstances is the use of capital letters appropriate in screen layout and design? We all know that use of capital letter is sometimes considered to be rude or sometimes too harsh for some people. So I guess this is a question. Just we got four options. So I mean, we can say never because text in capital letter is more difficult to read. Of course, this is not the right answer. To better distinguish text from the numbers when text and numbers are mixed. No, not really. I think the C is the correct answer, probably. To emphasize important items like field names, title, or main categories. I think that's where we want to emphasize something. So that's where I think it should be done. Otherwise, mostly we try when we are writing an email or we are sending a message or even showing something on a display on a website, we tend not to show capital letters. In some cases, it is considered to be slightly rude. So it is recommended that uh, we should avoid using those capital letters into our communication with others. Yeah, that's just one example, one suggestion. Let's keep moving. Yeah. We've got a lot of slides to cover. Okay, now we're going to look at here something important here as well. Some of the examples of translational distances. So if we say, for example, we're going to look at few of the categories here from weak to medium to strong to immersive. So basically, weak, as you can understand, like it was the early video game controllers, and medium touch screen, multi-touch, strong data glove, gesturing, manipulating tangible objects. And now the final one, which is a very, very advanced one, is called immersive, where we are talking about virtual reality goggles and or Oculus Rift, which is one of the programs, one of the games which is very popular. So these things are as you can see here, emerging and experiencing steady growth, steady advancement into our direct manipulation system, and these things play important role in terms of making sure that the user at the other end is getting the best experience, is getting kind of a sense of confidence. That's important as well. Yeah. All right. Okay. Let's keep moving to our more slides here. We're going to look at direct manipulation system from another angle. As you can see here, there are three users working at the same time on a large tabletop touch device. I mean, these type of devices are getting popular as well. You might not have seen it many places, but some of the designing places, some of the organizational environments where these things can be found as well. It might not be available in your college, but these new devices are available at some of the organizations where they are required. I mean, not necessarily everywhere, but anyway, they can use their hands and fingers to manipulate the objects on their device. This really makes a big difference. If you are using this, since the touch pad and touch system has emerged, we have seen massive improvement. Like people are now becoming so used to these touch systems, especially like our mobile phones. I mean, 15, 20 years ago, we didn't have mobile phones with the touch system. We used to have button phones, But now times have changed. This new experience has emerged, and it is giving people a confidence to use. It's giving people a good immersive experience, which really is something we should be thankful to those who have been designing such advanced technology. And I mean, we're simply using here hand gestures, like I mean, imagine like hand gestures can make a difference, and this also speeds up things. That's definitely happening. So it's not only it's a good experience you may have felt. I mean, I'm not sure how many of you have used the old button phone, but I have used that one because I'm old enough to say I use those. And then when I use the latest iPhone, so it was a big difference, like from the button phones technology to touch phone technology. Like that really made a massive difference for us. Anyway, I mean, let's keep moving here. Okay, now we're talking about some more examples here, because there might be dozens of examples can be found here. So it's more like we're talking about a tangible user interface for molecular biology. So, and this has been developed at Art Olson's laboratory at the Scripps Research Institute. Here, what is happening that they are utilizing auto-fabricated molecular models, which can be tracked with the augmented reality toolkit from the University of Washington Human Interface Department, Technology Department. So, I mean, this kind of things can also be like, I mean, as you can see here, the extent and scope of the research, and where it can be applied, in many settings, not just in your mobile phone or in your touch screen, but there are so many ways direct manipulation system can be applied all over, in different departments. Okay, let's keep moving to here. Okay, now some of the problems we might see with direct manipulation may include high level flow charts and database schema can become confusing. This can happen. So, I mean, efforts are to be made and are made to ensure to reduce the level of confusion with users. And of course, users must learn the graphical representation. These are something, tapping commands with the keyboard may be faster. Sometimes there are things here, depends. Keyboards are older things, but now um, I mean, typing commands, of course, but in terms of we can say that it's a new technology. I guess with one generation to next generation, this will get better. That's how I see it anyway. So, well, keep moving to okay, now more information here, which is really an important one as well. We all know the extent and importance of GPS into our lives, and Google GPS system is playing an important role into everybody's life, So here they are using some kind of a Google Street View for university center at Nova Southeastern University in Florida, So imagine like this is not like this is kind of a I mean, especially that, it can show so many things, So especially now with GPS technology getting developed so fast and so like I can say like it's covering everything, It's like it's not part of our life, We can't even live without these kind of technologies these days, So it's making a big difference, Yeah, well, okay, another example here, you can see here somebody is playing a video game. This woman is playing a video game, World of Warcraft. She is using both her keyboard and mouse while hearing sounds of the game via her headset. You can see here how completely this experience has been. So her both hands are busy, her head is busy, her eyes are focused on the game. So it's kind of a good immersive experience, which she is getting, and she's enjoying probably, I think everybody will, you know. So the developers of technology are focused on ensuring that they are providing best possible immersive experience to their users. So this is definitely happening, Okay, let's keep moving to our next slide. Okay, another polling question here. Although humans often rely on spoken natural language to communicate with each other, spoken language is not used very heavily in human computer interfaces, which is an important, what is the important reason for that? So, I mean, bandwidth of the auditory channel is more limited than the of the visual channel. This might be true as well. Computers would have to understand many different languages and dialects. This can also be true as well. It requires speech recognition by computers, which is as of too error prone and consumes too many resources. Speech output by computers sounds rather unnatural. I mean, I guess A and B are closest as well. C can also be as well. Mm. Yeah, I think, yeah, probably. Well, anyway, people come up with their own ideas as well. I mean, somebody might say, all right, D, I don't like computers, sounding something which doesn't sound real. When computers are talking, of course, it doesn't sound real. So some people might think about that as well. Okay, okay, this is an important one as well. 3D. We're talking about now 3D. We all know that the importance of 3D is being used everywhere, and widely is being, you know, in different settings. 3D printing has become a powerful tool as well. This picture shows astronaut Bruce Wilmore on board the International Space Station with the ratchet wrench that was created with made in space 3D printer. I mean, can you believe that? These kind of things are happening. So 3D printing technology is one of the best technologies we have seen in over the years. So that's quite amazing as well. Yeah. Okay, now we're talking about 2D and 3D. Okay, let's take more information about it, more examples about it. And we are seeing their increasing use in many fields of life. So, like 3D interfaces have now strong utility in some contexts. For example, in medical use, product design, scientific visualization, it's happening everywhere. You just name it. It's available everywhere and it's playing a very, very important role as well. This is something we have to look into as well. And we'll see with time their use will continue to increase. This is what we are seeing. So it's a technology with a lot of promise to come. Okay, now 2D interfaces, we have seen there are some examples here. You might have seen this kind of information now. We're talking about 3Ds, like which gives you even better visualization. And yeah, I mean, like who knows that what might be up in their sleeves. They might bring something new, something different technology maybe in the future. So that's definitely some of the examples here as well. I mean, look at this example here. By using a medical simulation inserted into a large scale visualization using cave technology, physicians or these doctors they are now able to find a solution that would not have been possible without doing the actual surgery. So imagine like they're using cameras and 3D interfaces technology. The doctors can find, surgeons can find what is wrong in someone's body. So it is really making a big difference, especially in medical technology, industrial technology, commercially is being widely used as well. Okay, let's focus on some of the other information here. Some of the features of effective 3D include occlusion, shadows, perspective, and other 3D techniques carefully manipulated. They keep the text readable. They are simple for user movement. They can also prevent errors. So they are some of the important features as well here. Okay. Now, we're going to look at here 3D interfaces. There are some guidelines for inclusion of enhanced 3D features, as you can see here. We are providing here overviews so users can see the big picture. Which is really important feature. We're talking about X-ray vision, so users can see into or beyond objects, which is another feature. We keep the history as well. And they are offer different tools to mark and measure. I mean, a lot of things are happening. And with times, technology is improving, getting better and better, and we are seeing like every new version of technology better than the previous version. And what 3D was 10 years ago, if you compare with today's technology, you will find a massive difference. The technology has been like gradually improving and providing really, really, something a massive difference is what we are talking about here. Okay, now let's okay, just leave this question now. I'm just going to finish these slides. Now we got a lot of question, slides to cover today. So we're talking about here some of the guidelines for inclusion of enhanced 3D features. We're talking about support semantic zooming and movement, and we are talking about how to allow multiple coordinated views. We're talking about how to develop novel 3D icons to represent concepts that are more recognizable and more memorable. So these are some of the very important features which are playing a big role. And who knows, like in the future 3D technology, you will have extra number of features that will make our lives easier, the make life easier of those doctors and technicians and physicians and industrial developers. But we're talking about here some kind of a massive breakthrough which is happening. And with these designs are also playing an important role for any type of designers, no matter which type of designers they are. There might be a website designers, there might be some industrial products designers, might be some medical device designer, or some any other equipment designers. I mean, they're all. I mean, all this features of this technology are for all of them to use and to apply and to implement and get improve better results. That's what all it's this is what it's all about. Okay, right. Yeah, we're gonna look at some more. Okay, this is also a good topic to cover here. Teleoperations are taking place. Can you believe this? We are living in an age where some people can perform like a physical operations remotely, and this is really unbelievable things happening. And it's all possible because the technology has developed to that extent. So we are talking about here direct manipulation in personal computers. We're talking about here physical operations being done remotely. We're talking about here complicating factors in the architecture of remote environments where time delays and incomplete feedback are playing an important role. So these things are very powerful as well. So we're going to look at some of the example here. Let's say, for example, a nurse is showing here that how she is using something called telehealth cart otoscope to conduct a real-time tympanic ear membrane exam. So she's not performing any operation, but she's only doing something. And on the other hand, on the screen, there might be an expert sitting there who might be a physician or doctor or surgeon. I don't know who that person is. But now here, a nurse is doing something. Maybe they both are remotely located to, living somewhere in a rural community. But at least this person is being physically examined, and somebody on the other hand with a camera on, an expert is looking into his ear what something is going on. I mean, imagine this type of technology was not possible 20 years ago, but now this type of technology has become possible. So we are seeing robots are emerging as possible surgeons, and they are performing operations, surgeries, as sensitive surgeries as on a patient's eyes. That's really kind of a amazing technology. So with times, things are changing, and with these designs, I mean, it's important to understand we're talking about here from designers point of view, that those designs which are being developed here, are they according to our design interfaces, those principles. See here, as you can see here, everything which is here, every equipment from his chair to the monitor to the stand and whatever handheld technology this nurse is using, it's all about the, like, it's coming from design perspective. So if you look at from design perspective, it is important that how all these things will be made possible to make sure a decent display is there. And not only the decent display, but it's also that whatever they are doing actually is being done. That's the main thing here. And with the help of different design perspectives, doing this, doing that. But it's at the end of the day, it's important that what they are doing is actually is what that I will say providing value to what this person is going through. Yeah, I mean, and yeah, this is important as well. Anyway, We keep looking into this as well. Tele operation and present, guys, you can see here this is an immersed board which allows two users to be co-located and work on the same shared screen. And so you can see here this is kind of a new technology as well. Two users differently, I mean, co-located, and they are sharing a screen, which is also a very powerful message, a powerful technology which is emerging. So a lot of things are happening from design perspective as well. We are seeing a lot of physical products, devices, equipment are being developed. At the end of the day, they all need designers to develop the product that will satisfy majority of users. So these products are not designed without the help of designers. Okay, they might have, involve different technology and different products, different application of those products. But at the end of the day, the role of designer is extremely important, and these people who are designing whether computer games or teleoperations or or the cockpit of an aeroplane or the interface of a banking system or interface of ATM machine, behind all those, who is involved? Designers. Right, this is how important it is. Okay, now let's look at the another important topic which is emerging and emerging very fast, very fast. Augmented reality and virtual reality. I mean, the virtual reality is very powerful technology. It breaks the physical limitations of space and allows users to act like they are somewhere else. I mean, this is really good. So augmented reality is an important variant. So this is just, these two technologies are playing extremely powerful role, extremely important role, and that is something is making a big difference as well. So this is one technology we are talking about here. Okay, now apart from that, we've got here some of the examples here, guys. You can see here. Now it shows you more. That's important here. In this virtual reality example, here the surgeons are during a surgery, they can see more relevant, pertinent information which can be superimposed on a view of the real world. As you can see here, like there's edit information which is being shown to these surgeons. So this can be this kind of virtual environment can be created to many situations. I mean, I think for a traffic situation here or for many things, it can happen. But this is really, I mean, powerful, I would say, a technology that is here to grow and to play an important role into the future. But it's already happening. I think if it's not on a larger scale but will happen in the next 10 years, it will be everywhere. You will notice, it's really a powerful technology. It can be even seen on your mobile phone screen in some cases as well. Okay, now another example here, guys. You can see it, like, look at this, using augmented reality overlays, various points of interest can be shown on a mobile phone screen. You can see here, maybe on your mobile phone screen, it's showing you somewhere, maybe eating places, if you want to go for a dinner or lunch, something. So that's also an important thing as well. So this augmented reality and virtual reality, these tools are here to play a powerful a role into our lives. And they already have started to play. A lot of people are not aware of this, but I guess with times and with the change of generation, many people will adopt to will refer to these technologies, will use them. And 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 to be honest with you, their use and deployment is rapidly growing. Yeah, it's happening. So apart from that, okay, guys, now one of the polling questions says here, conventional wisdom says that space tell that user when he has made some mistake. I guess it's very easy, maybe, you know, error message, probably the C. This is the easiest one. So, okay. All right, guys, another example here of augmented reality. This is what's happening, customers can use their personal mobile devices to pull up objects from the IKEA catalog and see how the various items would look like in their own house. This is the, technology which IKEA gives their users to use, and it's kind of a like a great technology, like, I mean, you could like feel that how will that item will look like in your own house. So it's very, very, I mean, it's very very good technology, and it's just the uses are at this stage, you can say, are limited, but with time their uses will get better, will improve. Definitely is going to happen, and this is happening already. Yeah. Okay, let's move into another example, guys. Here, image of a virtual meditative world that users can use for engaging in meditation activities. A lot of people go for meditation, and this just shows an environment can create an environment, while they're doing it, they change with each stage of the meditation process. This is an application of positive computing, I will say. This is really, really good, so a lot of people are in, they're doing this kind of thing, and it's really important to see how this technology is being used. All right, guys, now let's just summarize some of the key points before we conclude our week 4 lecture slides. So, the main points from today's class also explain most of you likely to like which topics are important. But anyway, this sums up, and I would like to say thank you to everyone for being part of this class. And please, I will see you at the next class. Okay, guys. Okay, thank you very much to everyone. Okay, listening to me, and I hope that you join me for the next class. Thank you very much. Bye.